to the Arbor Wilds and the Temple of Mythal within. We just watched Corypheus, the big baddie, red crystals growing out of his face, you know the one, seemingly explode into a bunch of tiny, delicious giblets. And then he grew himself back out of the chest of a Grey Warden man, who is dead now, I must assume. So that's what we have to look forward to, and then the dragon showed back up. Hooray! So we're in the temple now. Let's do this. It's lovely in here. I would hate to leave. Solus, can you handle everything else from here? I'll just chill. He's just been waiting for this moment. Oh, sure. I suppose I could. What? You know how Solus is. Like an old constable, somehow? Alright. I'll stop ogling the scenery here. Pardon me, birds. It's obvious a lot of loving care went into the details here.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishor vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
That's why I brought you, Solus.
Knowledge, respectful or pure, Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mythal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be.
I should have considered that Cassandra also sort of disapproves of this. I knew that Iron Bull was just bored of it and wouldn't like it, but I don't think I had Cassandra with me last time I did this. So let's see here. We'll just enter a quick ritualistic padlock code to pay obeisance to the gods. Sure. Seems to just be a don't stand on it again situation. Journey deeper into the temple, if you insist. Don't know why I'm so greedy for lootables. You'll have to pardon me. Checking every nook and cranny.
I see the Red Templars have already encountered the temple's guardians.
They hurt themselves for years to get stronger, but they still die so easily.
Perhaps we shall fare better. Yes?
Nice that she can act as a continuing guide as you go deeper in. That will come in handy, I'm sure. And tell me more about it.
Said this Mythal was
We have a second while I sip.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
Solus seemed to take quite a bit of offense to that, strangely. Good morning. So nice to see you there in the chat. Welcome, welcome. I hope your day is going well.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful, pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
Care to fill us
If you
in?
know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal
Fair enough.
end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
Probably not the wisest course of action to go tromping through ancient, sacred, ritualistic elven grounds and be gossiping and bad-mouthing them. Good call, Solus.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain
Quite the
by
tableau for this
Who
conversation.
can say?
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things
Hello,
are possible.
hello.
One,
Welcome.
this is a group of Dalish separated
And
from their brethren,
honking goose noises to you.
fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Arlathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
Alright, so I can ask them, continue the special conversation, or I can say, in all of my many years of research, pardon me, let me adjust my glasses higher up my nose there, I've never heard of such a thing in all me scholarly days.
If they keep records,
Let's do that.
it could change everything we thought we knew about history.
It is thrilling, no? To discover an era thought lost forever has possibly thrived in the shadows. We may, however, find these elves reluctant to part with their long-kept secrets.
Oh, now I have to ask this. I have no other choice, apparently.
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
The room we stand in is a vestibule, not the temple proper. To those who knew it, perhaps this ritual was little more than a polite knock at the gate. These customs must have been as familiar to ancient elves as bowing to a queen is to you or I.
I find it difficult to picture you curtsying to anyone.
Have we become so familiar you can predict my manners and customs now? Nothing
I'd like
is
to
lost
think
by
so, yeah.
indulging in the occasional civilized conduct, particularly when unexpected.
Thank you for your time,
Continue.
Morrigan.
As
Lovely
you
to
wish.
catch up with you. Alright. Solus, do you need a back rub? You look a little tense and strange. Harboring a dark secret, are you? Is that... Well, no time to worry about it now. Moving right along. Alright, don't really need to collect any herbs in here that I know of. Statue of Fen-Harel, the rebel god. The Dalish use Harelan to mean traitor to one's kin, but the word does not appear in any elven text before the Tower's age. The ancient root word is related to Harilin, or opposition, and Helathin, or noble struggle. The Dalish call Fen-Harel a god of deception, but I posit a far more accurate translation would be god of rebellion. What he rebelled against is a story lost to time. In Dalish legends, Fen-Harel seals away the other deities out of love of trickery. If we understood more ancient Elven, we might find earlier versions of the Dreadwolf's story give him a more nuanced motivation beyond spite. This is from a treaty on the pagan and heretical customs of the Elven. Well,
Why
thank
would
you.
this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the Dread Wolf, Fen-Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen-Harel in Mythal's
You seem
great
very
assassin
restless about it,
is as
all of
blasphemous
you.
as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer, Mafarath, as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function. A reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
Are you sure? Come on.
We can send for historians once peace is brought to this forest.
The inhabitants of this temple may not...
Send for the historians. That's the part of the battle I like. When it's all over. Alright, headed back out here. I guess the ritual opened the door, or at least enrobed it in glowy blue light. Is that raspberry? We'll be right back to taste. And these are closed,
Temple
but
of
there is a
Mythal.
box.
Constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land. They believed Mythal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Silence has reigned here for time beyond memory.
That's such a poetic and sinister thing to say. Through the first door. Surely not engaging in some sort of ancient elven terms and conditions by stepping through here. My ears. Oh, no, wait. They're fine. It's fine.
Hold them off!
I don't think you're going to have much luck with that. Just trying to save you some ouchies. Let me save you some ouchies, for pity's sake.
Come on,
All
we
right.
might catch them.
No time to delay.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
People are dying outside while we stand here. If we use the tunnel, more of our soldiers can flee.
In this
Ah,
case,
so
I
they got
must
past
agree
the
with
first
witch.
ritual, but
This
then
is
they
ancient
blew
ground,
past the
deserving
others,
of
I
our
guess.
respect.
You see the urgency. We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
I would probably agree with that. So it sounds like there are more rituals, more of those padlock codes, and to properly and sacredly enter the temple, you should follow those, otherwise you are not allowed to be here. But they just blew a hole in it, so if we want to chase them through the tunnel, we're sort of violating the rules of the temple. We can go the proper way and see if we can still beat them.
We don't know what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
I'll trust you, Morrigan.
Their goal or yours?
As always.
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I wasn't expecting your answer to be so romantic.
Trust me, your surprise is matched only by my own. Mankind blunders
No one's more
through the
surprised than
worlds,
Morrigan.
crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It
tell
said a
me.
great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty.
Oh, that
It
doesn't
implies
sound,
the loss of something personal for
good.
duty's sake. Yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Maybe it's just like a Friday evening 1 week that you're sacrificing. I'm sure it's not someone's entire life.
What sort of curse should we brace ourselves for if we use the well?
'Twould be easier by far to advise you of a curse. This price is not so well defined. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way.
Alright, so I'll need to lay some consideration to that as we go forward. It seems like at the end of this we will need to make some sort of choice, and it will likely come down to either me or Morrigan. Sound like the candidates. She's saying, don't you do it, I'll pay the price. I don't want that price to be, death of Morrigan. That would be the outcome I prefer to avoid. We'll see how it goes. Really shouldn't be running around picking up stacks of gold in such a place, but here we are. The elven god Andruil. One day Andruil grew tired of hunting mortal men and beasts. She began stalking the Forgotten Ones, wicked things that thrive in the abyss, all tentacly and strange. Yet even a god should not linger there, and each time she entered the void, Andruil suffered longer and longer periods of madness. There's some breath in there. After returning, Andruil put on armor made of the void, and all forgot her true face. She made weapons of darkness, and plague ate her lands. Loving this, she howled things meant to be forgotten. Go, yes! And the other gods became fearful. Andruil would hunt them in return. In turn. Ahem. That was a nightmare. So, Mythal spread rumors of a monstrous creature and took the form of a great serpent, waiting for Andruil at the base of a mountain. When Andruil came, Mythal sprang on the hunter. They fought for 3 days and nights, Andruil slashing deep gouges in the serpent's hide, but Mythal's magic sapped Andruil's strength and stole her knowledge of how to find the void. Aww. After this, the great hunter could never make her way back to the abyss, and peace returned. That is, probably the most badass thing I've ever read.
I believe we are in the
All right.
presence of the elven goddess Ondrul, Lady of the Hunt.
Or a
Andrew,
goddess of sacrifice, according to some.
so says
Truly.
Morrigan.
I wonder if that is why Ondrul's patron animal is the hare. 'Tis said the Dalish invoke her before a chase, especially if they happen to be stalking humans.
Humans clash with elves all the time. There's blood on both sides.
I do not favor either.
So I'm wondering how much I can explore here. It seems like I need to go to both sides. Equally, just don't go down the hole. Alright. Let's go across the way first, since there's seemingly only one
Many
ritual
Orlesian
over here.
commanders consider skirmishes against the Dalish excellent sport.
Mosaic of Falondine. Song to Falondine. The people swore their lives to Falondin, who mastered the dark that lies, whose shadows hunger, whose faithful sing, whose wings of death surround him, thick as night. Lethanavir, master scryer, be our guide through shapeless worlds and airless skies.
Meant to be.
Falondin,
Yummy.
overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
It's the same statue as on the other side. Who are you trying to fool?
People cling to whatever gives them hope when their time comes.
Perhaps that's why the Dalish sometimes refer to Falondin as the Merciful One.
I do not believe they sing songs about Falondin's vanity.
Do you know any legends?
It is said Falondin's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Mythal rallied the gods once the shadow of Falondin's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Falondin only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
Did ancient elves believe all their gods so terrifying?
Yes, I believe they did.
That was just what it was like in the old days, I guess. What do you think the gods are like? Oh, I think it's like, just nothing but plague land as far as the eye can see. Darkness and shadows and deep, forbidden creatures of the abyss. Okay, okay, we could have gone any direction with it, sure. Don't miss any important mosaics. And I'd also love to pick up some cheesy poofs if there's a convenience store anywhere around here. Cassandra, you in? You in for a handful? You know what they say, in for a handful, in for a pound. Am I right, Cassandra? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Need something to snack on while you're reading the latest Varric Tethras romance. Alright, seemingly nothing there. So, here's the next puzzle we will need to complete. Same story, I assume. Oh, big pile. Good thing I have big pockets. Someone else is gonna have to grab the cheese, though. I filled up on gold. Make your choice. Who's gonna grab the cheese? So where do I want to start this? I imagine I might not necessarily want to jump onto it from there. I should likely take the stairs. But I'm not sure. Let's get a background this way. Accidentally collecting a little arbor blessing as we go. Oh, is this like 2 in 1? Or are they mirrored or something? Alright, finally on the right level. So, the stairs up to that one, seemingly, are broken, so we must want to start over here. And we must just have to make our way across, somehow. Alright. I'm gonna save it, just in case. Is that little, game piece important in some way? Is that indicating a direction I should start? Or is it completely meaningless? I wonder. So, I think I can just probably go for this, and whatever happens, happens. Let's see here. guess I can walk on stairs safely. That's good to know. I must also need to get over to that side, is what I'm thinking. Like, I must be able to jump up onto there, and it still holds true. That being the case, I might want to get onto it from that side, because there's only one path through the middle, seemingly. And I need to have all of those over there activated. So how would I do that? I guess I can just walk across here. There we go. Making it more complicated than it needs to be. Let's go here. So that's one side. There's nothing else over there I need to worry about, alright. So...
That did something. Indeed. Time to proceed to the next ritual, I should think.
Alright, so these are just all over the place now. I just need to activate them and get to the next. Hopefully that worked. So I still don't want to go down the hole. I don't want to get anywhere near it, if possible. Just in case. What's on this side? Not an informational mosaic. Move along. Alright. So this one's got a couple of pillars in the middle of it to make it complicated. Any other complications I should know about?
Yes.
That's a sturdy root. And now I'm talking to Morrigan.
Continue.
As you wish.
Pardon me. Excuse me, everybody. Thank you. Alright, so seemingly just some pillars. Nothing that weird about this one. Let's try to get it.
Ritual is complete.
We are
Alright,
close.
one more
There
below.
is but one more path to follow.
Must be all the way up here. Alright. This one looks tricky. Some gates and weirdness. Let's get a peek. Yeah, so there's like a lever over there. What does that lever do? I'm hoping I can take as many chances as I need at this. I don't think there's a punishment, necessarily. Beyond me role-playing that I'm behind Samson and losing ground. Alright, so let's try to see what that lever does. I'm not sure if I should leave a path to, like, escape here, or if I should fill it all in as I go. I'm gonna leave a path for now. I can walk on that later, so let's just get this. So yeah, it's stuff like that one back there. The third one from me. It's going to be a little tricky because I'll have to drop off the edge, I guess, instead of coming back across that one. So what does this do? Well, I have a free try at it. Okay, it takes a gate down there. And maybe there. I think it did. So, you don't have to drop off there. I was premature. There is a gate that opens to give you passage. Let's try, filling... did I already mess it up? Maybe I can jump to it. I should have probably filled this one in. To make sure. Alright. I'm gonna leave that one for now. Let's go this way. So now there's just more behind that gate. I think I left the path so I can walk up. But you can't drop off. Okay. So I need to be able to hit the gate twice then. Or this all needs to be taken care of beforehand. Without stepping off. Alright. Let's do that same thing. Is there a way to shortcut this? Not without stepping off, I don't think. The weird part is, after I get back there, I do need to pull the lever again. So, let's do this. Pull it now. And I'll go ahead. I did this a little weird. Let me just take this one out of play. I don't know why. That one's offset here.
Yes.
Whoa, no, I didn't want to talk to Morrigan. I wanted to jump diagonally,
As you wish.
please. Oh, yikes. I hope that didn't mess us up. Alright. Sorry, Morrigan.
It wants to say something.
Iron Bull disapproves even if he's not here?
Let's
What?
see if the doors have opened.
How dare you, Iron Bull? Okay, so this is the door. I'm waiting to see if it opened behind here, or is it back in the center chamber? Likely back in the center chamber. Alright. Doesn't look like we have the ability to follow Samson down the hole anymore. Now that we completed the rituals, the marker is taking us right where we need to go. Thank you for bearing with me through the rituals there. Sorry if you, like Iron Bull, deeply disapprove. I didn't mean it. Let me go ahead and save it again here. And give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll cliffhanger you at the door. So sorry. Alright, my apologies. Got my water now. Let us proceed. Cutscene.
That is not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Vernavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I'm chasing them with a can opener and ill intent. Is that what you're asking? I don't appreciate them being alive. Yes.
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Would Solus talking to him be a good thing? Solus has been acting a little bit strange about all of this, but it is Solus, you know, dear Solus.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
So he has nothing really to add, but thank you for your thoughts. Can I pry? May I?
What is this Virabella-san exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mythal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
Okay, so I want to tread a little bit carefully here. I sort of remember this part going strangely. Let me see if I can figure out where we are. Because I think I always want to accept this alliance that is seemingly on the table, or about to be on the table. Let me continue the conversation a bit. We mean you no
We
harm.
did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
So this is the part where it's a little tricky. So they're saying, let's ally, we'll stop Corypheus, but you do not get to touch the well, no matter what happens. We will be enemies if you do that. And Morrigan is saying, we will likely need the well. She wants to see what it does, what it is. And I believe if I accept the alliance with Abelas here, she will become outraged and leave the party. And I don't really want that. However, the only option to get her not to leave the party is to say, like, I don't trust them or we may need that well, actually fight the Sentinels, which Solus will deeply disapprove of, and it's also very disrespectful to ancient elven culture and the elves today. So it's like, do I want to keep Morrigan happy, which I don't believe I've ever done in the past. I've always allied with Abelas. And I should likely do the same. It's such a weird, tricky situation. Because I don't know if there's really any point or any way to save Morrigan at this point in the story regardless. So I don't know what the right thing to do is. So if you do not ally with Abelas, he cannot be convinced to stand down. He will try to destroy the well, and to prevent this, Morrigan will kill him. And then you need to still make your weighty decision about the Well of Sorrows and who actually drinks from it. So it's like this part is so complicated, and I'm not sure what the moral good is. So sorry, just scrolling through a bit here. So it does say if you are allied with Abelas, he can be convinced to relent and allows you to access the well. But Morrigan has already stormed off by that point, so it's like we do get what we need by playing along and being nice to the elves and enduring the alliance. Morrigan just decides not to be a part of it, which is such a shame, because she's one of my favorite characters. So, I'm making the silly decision. Here we go. We will ally. I'm accepting your bargain. And we'll see what happens. Sorry, Morrigan.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vira Belasan,
thank you for bearing with me. My agony.
I must destroy it myself.
No! Morgan!
So Morrigan becomes outraged and leaves. There it is. As a bird, rather spectacularly. So now we're racing both her and Corypheus to the Well of Sorrows. I guess I go this way, sorry.
This would be our guide.
Who's leading this party?
That's helpful, since Morgan chased off on her own.
She seeks to protect the Well of Sorrows.
She turned into a bird.
Yes, she did, Cole. Good observation. Okay. Nice. I don't want to get ahead of you, but I'm just going to get ahead of you a little bit here.
This place looks untouched.
The entire temple must have looked like this long ago. How could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense?
We can always ask our
As you can
host.
see, Corypheus' men fighting with the sentinels out there. That's what we would have had to do had we not allied. The Judgment of Mythal. Whenever one of the people wronged another, they would not call on Elgar'nan to avenge them, for his fury would destroy all it touched. Mythal saw this bring strife among the people, and went to Elgar'nan. She offered to deliver justice when the people warred amongst themselves. Elgar'nan saw her wisdom and agreed, binding all to abide by her verdicts. Some, petitioning Mythal for justice, hid jealousy, accusing those who had done them no wrong. She saw their lies and struck them down. Others, petitioning Mythal for justice, burned with wrath for imagined slights. She saw their weak hearts and struck them down. Those coming to her with clear minds and open hearts were granted judgment and protection, and Mythal harried their enemies until the end of their days. Yes, please. A rare longbow, I'd love to. Veil fire. Sorry, guide. Mind if I poke around your place for ancient runes? There it is.
I believe she would prefer that we remain close.
Just a quick look around.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just grab these so we can read them later, if need be. Oh. Probably shouldn't be looting, though. Let's just read the information. Let's not loot. Okay. Where'd she go? She's over by the stairs now. Anything in here? Oh, there's a corpse. That would be really disrespectful to start playing with. Hey, do you know this guy? Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Please stop making him dance. That was my father. Oh, I'm sorry. This is awkward. It sure is a peaceful way to do it. Especially when you get to watch everyone else die around you.
Red Templars.
They're dying faster than they wanted to.
Anything down there? Just some gold, maybe? Leave it. Alright. Up the stairs. After you, please. Okay. You know, it could just be a little faster, is all I'm saying. I hate to complain. Just like the time, just 2 little steps faster is. Oh, is this for me? Would you like me to have this? Thank you. Okay. And is that the end of the line? Have we arrived? Hey everybody. Well, that was devastating to my back. I hope that was the right thing to do. Alright, that's blocked off. Must be headed this way. Watch out for Morrigan dive bombing us.
So Mythal.
Ah, stop pecking me!
It's loud and so cold.
Andraste, guide us.
Oh, can't we just work it out?
You tough bastard.
Drown in
Day's
folks with your
march,
boots.
hours
That's
of
uncalled
fighting,
for.
And still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor. You and those elf things don't know when to stop. You've hunted.
Clearly
us
neither
half
do
across
you.
Venus. I should have guessed you'd follow us into this hole.
I'd invite you again to look at your eyes in a river or some sort of reflective surface and discern what choices you're making in your life that's leading you to look this way. No need to rub it in. It's over.
Reserves are gone, so is the lyrium. Isn't it time to stand down?
To enjoy the mercy you showed our brothers and sisters? No thanks. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can
Sorrows would have been my guess, but okay.
I give it to Corypheus, that he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
What's your part in it? What's a vessel?
What else empties a well? I'll carry its power to Corypheus. One more
So you're
task
just a bucket
entrusted to
then?
me. Being force-fed Chantry
I'll get ready to
Lyrium was
kick
good
the
for
bucket.
something. This armor makes me a living fortress, mind and body. I won't forget a word of the well's knowledge. Corypheus will be unstoppable.
Well, about that. See, Dagna made me a little gadget there to break up your Tony Stark arc reactor of lyrium in your chesty, and it's gonna hurt. That's step one, is that it will hurt. Step two we'll get to in a minute.
Once Corypheus is that powerful, you and your soldiers will just slow him down.
You dare say that to my face? After you butchered my men? You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could.
But what about its sorrows?
Is the strength
Could I
of
master
Chantry
those?
tied to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. So, Inquisitor, how will this go?
Oh, you know exactly how it's gonna go. I just told you a second ago.
Power's all well and good, until it's taken away.
Thanks again, Dagna. Love you.
What did you do? What did you do?
What didn't I do?
It's
I mean, look at you.
the lyrium! I need it! Kill them all!
That ought to help. Oh, that was a total waste. Didn't get it quite far enough back. Oh! Excuse me. It was fantastic and unintentional. Thank you, Solus. Appreciate ya. Alright, I'll watch out for that edge there. I was expecting it to catch me. Foolish misassumption.
I'll show you, bastards!
Oh, you're getting bigger. That's not what I expected.
What's your flanks?
Pretty much just gonna sit over here and Emperor Palpatine you to death. So if you want to just get it over with quick, that'd be great. I am the Senate.
Ha! Come on then! Get around them!
The taller you get, the closer you are to my Sky Fist. Ah, should have run for it there. Run for it.
You will fall!
Go to bed.
Were my men!
Is he getting smaller again now? Is he gonna be just a tiny little thing I can put in my pocket when this is all over? Oh, hello, hello, welcome.
You can't.
But not to you, sir. You're on your way out of this world. But hey there in the chat.
Still breathing.
We can take him back to Skyhold for judgment.
Oh boy, are we gonna take him back to Skyhold for judgment. Morrigan, let's talk about this. You're part of the family, Morrigan.
You heard his parting
And you got
words,
here no
Inquisitor.
sooner than we did.
The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's
So what do we have to
legacy
do
rot
to
in the
convince you that
shadows.
we are deserving? Alright, again, I want to be a little bit careful here. Let me see if there's an option to avoid. I want to convince him that we can, in fact, be deserving. And that'll be great. It doesn't really tell me which one to pick. It just says he can be convinced. Like, okay, thank you. I don't want to pressure him too much, but I don't want this to mean I don't want the well. I do want the well, I just don't want to pressure you too much.
Samson thought the well's knowledge was valuable. It could help stop Corypheus.
I care nothing for your petty conflicts, Shemlin.
You'll care when Corypheus arrives for the well.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Thanks for jumping in here,
Elfen
Solus.
such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire?
Oh, thank you.
To
That's
partake of
sweet.
the Vira Belasan as best you can. To fight your enemy.
Only if you'll allow it.
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Okay. So now I'm assuming we have to choose between me and Morrigan. Either way, the knowledge will be revealed when we go back to Skyhold. Just trying to see if there's a penalty here, one way or the other. It says there's going to be a long conversation about it. We can call on our companions for input. However, it just comes down to a choice between Morrigan or the Inquisitor drinking from the well. If the Inquisitor is a mage, which I am. So it doesn't really seem like there's a consequence that I can tell. So it's just a matter of, do we want Morrigan to do it, I guess.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not touched. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity, never to awaken, if fate is kind.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen-Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder?
Nice to be
I said
speaking with someone who
nothing.
actually knows.
She was slain, if a god truly can be, betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Virabella San remains, as do we. That is something.
Do you wanna join us? This is in the aggressive option slot, but you can join us if you'd like to.
Thank you for this gift, Abelas.
Do not thank me yet, Shemlin.
Malas Amalina.
You don't yet know how much it hurts. And tickles. Oh, what did he say to him, I wonder? If only I knew Elvish.
Name.
Solus, do you wanna...
Abalas means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
Oh, that's sweet.
You'll note the intact illuvian.
Gonna get me all misty-eyed, Solus. Stop it.
On that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
That doesn't necessarily sound...
Let's not be reckless. I don't want anyone hurt.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends.
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
I'm thinking about this more from like a story perspective about Morrigan as a character. I already have the mark of the Rift and I'm the leader of the Inquisition. That's all well and good. I don't need another story beat here to add to my legend. But Morrigan drinking from the Well of Sorrows makes a certain amount of sense.
You alone? You're not the only mage here.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone
Plus, it
better
also just
suited?
more knowledge effectively means Morrigan will be more powerful. And Solus is also hugely against the idea. These are all interesting things. I wouldn't say Solus is better suited. He hasn't been part of this argument. And I wouldn't say that I'm better suited.
I don't know who's better suited, and neither do you.
I have the best chance of making use of the well. For everyone. Let me drink.
So my only concern, I would like to, in fact, gift her with the Well of Sorrows and the power and knowledge that comes with it. Please help us out with that knowledge, if you wouldn't mind. But it's up to you. What I don't want to happen is that it leads her down some sort of dark, corrupted madness path. I don't want to hurt her with this gift.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
Okay. Inquisitor will gain the power of the well. Morrigan will gain the power of the well. Let's see what this option is. It doesn't seem like a choice. And then we'll check in with everyone else.
Looking at it, listening to it.
Must be that
It's
arcane
not just
knowledge
from
perk.
the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion. A gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
So that's where that potentially hurting her comes into play. It's not just memories and knowledge from the well, which will be hugely important, and make Morrigan probably the most powerful person alive. It's also the willpower of certain ancient elves that could be malevolent, or it could be friendly, or it could be anything. What does everyone else think?
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
So many voices. They would be in your head, talking over you. You don't want them.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
All right, Morrigan. I hope that this benefits you in your future endeavors and leads to you being a powerful, powerful being.
It's yours.
Iron Bull, get out of here! Nobody asked you. Jeez. He's just hearing about it. He's got one of those ear trumpets. Oh, they made a decision I disagree with. I'm sorry, Iron Bull. I specifically didn't bring you so that you wouldn't get your feelings hurt. I didn't know you had an ear trumpet, buddy. Oh, my boots. Morrigan, you've betrayed me so soon.
Are you all right?
Elasin Salah. Visan Allah.
Nope, you're Morrigan. Snap, you're Morrigan. Remember?
I am
there
intact.
you go.
There is much to sift through, but now we can...
Uh-oh. What have we done? Iron Bull, is this you? Hey, Griffiness.
The Illuvian!
Through the mirror!
Let's, beat some cheeks, guys. Come on. Not today. Nothing for you but shards, sir. Shards in the fingertips, and shards in the eyes, and shards on the... I don't know, like your clavicle? I don't know where else. I didn't really get that good a look. Wish I had. I have no idea where we're going to end up here. This is exciting. 7 years bad luck. Yes, we've broken the mirror. Broke the Illuvian and saw a black cat walking across a ladder in a upside-down horseshoe-shaped building. What a shame. And there was a 2-leaf clover that you stepped on. Oh, we can go right back home. That's great. I was worried we'd end up in some crazy demon world. The guy with a chainsaw for a hand and a sort of stick that booms. Thank you, Morrigan. You sweet, sweet treat. You enjoy that unlimited knowledge. I'm just gonna take my mark of the rift. That's my special thing. I've already got one. Now you've got one too. We're peers.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no
they
longer
were
within
scared.
the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
Okay.
Meaning he will attack us directly at Skyhold.
Not necessarily. But neither will he remain idle.
And how could you have such insight into his plans?
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak to me now from across the ages. They hold wisdom. Secrets I never dreamed
This is just
possible.
a good look for Morrigan.
Even
I like
they
this.
fear what Corypheus has become.
The role of knowledge wielder. I appreciate it.
Should we fear him more than his army?
Possibly. Luckily for you, he has a weakness. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride can be exploited. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
You're sure? If there are no bodies for him to jump to...
You assume there is a limit to the range of his power. There is not.
Then what do you propose? Killing the dragon is no simple task, if it could even be found.
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall begin.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
Alright, I guess we're back home here. Let's check in at the war table. And then our next step, the next main quest mission will be to speak with Morrigan in the garden there. We'll pick that up next time. I cannot wait. Thank you very, very much for adventuring with me a bit today here. Sorry it was later than usual, but it is lovely to see you all. We did get another Inquisition perk. Let's see here. What's that one that increases my search radius? Eagle-eyed? Yes, let's do that. Alright, so is anyone actually out? I may have forgotten to send them out last session. That's weird. Oh well. Let me just check these to make sure there aren't any that are available and not repeat quests. Looks like just that axe and the dark roads. Actually, I think I checked this one, but yes, okay. Present for Bianca. That sounds important. Leliana, heard your little birdies have had recent success picking up shiny things for the Inquisition. Maybe you can help me out. One of the apprentice smiths saw me walking by with my Bianca, and we struck up a conversation. The apprentice said he once met a Formari mage named Provident, who had ideas for improving the precision of siege engines, and wondered if they could be adapted for Bianca. And then he got into phrases like recoil dampening and rectilinear motion, and I politely excused
Feel
myself.
for her, rather than fearing what she will do. You do care.
I would have concern for anyone who came into contact with that thing.
Could you tell your magpies to keep an eye out for Provident or his designs? Obviously, I don't have trouble with Bianca's accuracy, but she does like it when Daddy gets her new fittings. Cordially, Varric. Of course we'll send Leliana out. And then that will remind me, when we pick that up next session, I'll try to remember to upgrade his crossbow with whatever this is getting us. Yay, can't wait. And we should have some of those other, like, level 4 Bianca arms. Alright. Red Jenny and the Bad Goods. I'm gonna make Cullen do it.
All right.
Yeah. Cullen doesn't like helping Sarah in her little pranks, so I'm gonna order him to. Dorian has completed his research using the Liberal and believes he's found a connection between Corypheus and an ancient magister named Sethius of House Amladaris. We did already read this in the past. Blackmail them, they would undoubtedly do the same. Send them information as a gesture of goodwill. Every Tevinter house has enemies, sell the information. Blackmail them, Josephine. You enjoy. Alright, now everyone's out. So I will save it here in Skyhold. We'll upgrade Bianca for Varric next time. And then we'll go talk to Morrigan in the garden here. We're getting close. I think the final piece is like the penultimate mission of the main quest. There's a couple of other things we have to clean up afterward. And so the only thing I'm wondering is there's like that disaster in the deep roads, which I think is part of a DLC, that it may fit in better before we end the game, or we don't really have to do it either, though it is really cool. I don't want to necessarily chase down absolutely everything in the game. I mostly just wanted to catch up on the main story before we have Dragon Age 4 to contend with. Wanted to make sure it was available for the curious. So, we can totally decide if we want to leave out some of the DLCs and just stick to the main path or whatever, but we have plenty of options. Spoiled. Spoiled in luxurious options. Thank you again for your time, and I'll see you soonish. Saving it here in the Great Hall, and then I will wave at you thusly. And goodbye for now. I love you all. See you soon.